So have you ever been playing Stormworks and been on the map and seen these little X's? And these are like underwater landmarks, like a trench or even a shipwreck, and thought, they'll be pretty cool to explore. But maybe you've been playing survival, you've not had a reason to, or you just haven't got around to actually going and building a vehicle to find out what these are and seeing them for yourself. Well, today I thought I'd start constructing a fleet of underwater research vessels and bases to try and uncover the secrets of the Stormworks Ocean. So let's get started. Alright, now every research underwater fleet needs a main submarine. Okay, and that's what we're going to be starting with. I've gone for a sort of mid-size kind of all-rounder that can do anything, but it's not going to be too big, but it's also not going to be too small to where you can't really fit much in it and can't really do much with it, except drive around underwater. So I wanted to get the shape out of the way to save some time. I would have been here for a while. So what we have here is a little canopy with some windows, which provides a pretty good view of down below. And what we have is going to be the ballast tanks on the top, but they're going to be kind of opposite to ballast tanks. They're actually going to be providing our flotation, but we can fill them with water if we need. Because they are above the main hull of the sub, they're going to kind of provide an offset of weight to the top if they're full. And I don't know how that's going to bode for us, but I guess we'll see. So I'm going to carry on building and I'll join you back. The initial hull design is completed near the back, and all I did really was extend it and kind of shape it almost in the style of a boat hull, but kind of rounded it off to give it a more separated design from the ballast tank on top. So it's almost like it's its own piece and this is sitting on top. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that so far, and it's looking like a submarine. I can actually give it a little buoyancy test as it is, and wow, it's actually sitting pretty much where I'd want it without even having weight blocks, so that's a good sign. Okay, I made a mistake. There was actually a hole in the bottom portion, and as you can see, it just did exactly what I think it would and just rolled over. So yeah, we'll have to put weight blocks on the bottom. I think I'll do that last though, once everything's in. And we'll try and keep that center of weight as centralized as possible. There we go, that is a inline 4 modular engine going into a medium generator, and as you can see this is going to be a hybrid, so we're mainly going to be running on electric power, but I'm going to have an automatic little controller that when the battery dips below a certain level our engine powers on and charges us back up. And I have 2 air tanks here. I don't know if that's going to be enough capacity. So I want this to be a very long running submarine, very efficient, and so I hope those big tanks are going to be enough to hold the air that this engine's going to consume, but we'll see about that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is get our thrusters on for our main drive. I'm going to have them pretty much center line. I don't want this thing to like force itself down or up just by driving forward, so we're going to put these about right there. That should give us even power distribution for our forward. And these aren't going to be running on any kind of rudders for steering. I'm actually going to be using another controller for tank style steering. So I'm using a large battery, sort of in the middle here. It might even be overkill, but it's going to power our entire sub for a good while. And we're only using 2 little motors there for the main drive. So yeah, and the rest of the space back here, I don't know what I use it for. If I need to expand on anything, then it's there, but it'll probably be logic if nothing else. And now I can really start getting down on the actual interior of what's going to be accessible to the crew. So I'm going to add some kind of vertical airlock into this, and so I'm going to have a docking hatch on the bottom, I think, and that way if we make any future builds, we can have a hatch on the bottom that can actually magnetize, and we can jump between vehicles straight underwater, which would be really cool. And we'll have a regular hatch up the top. I won't do that just yet. I'm going to have this kind of like enclosed. Actually, I don't want it too cramped in here, so I'll wall off about that much for it, and that leaves us not very much for the main area in this, but all we really need is a seat, and yeah, we should be good with just a seat, I hope. Okay, so I think I got something that works. We have the hatch here that we can come into. Got some basic equipment that you might need if you're going out on an expedition. We have the diving equipment here for a single diver, and we have the door that comes into the main area and the hatch below. I've got a pump drain system in here, so the idea is the hatch would open, the water would come in, and or if you want to step inside, you don't want to flood the whole place. So we have 4 large pumps on each side. That's why I couldn't have it as big as I wanted. We were restricted to this small little area in here because all of the pumps, as the pressure gets greater as you go deeper, you're going to need a lot of power to get the water out. So I'm hoping that's going to be enough. Okay, so this part's going to be live. I'm going to build the basic bridge, I guess, cockpit, I don't know. What is it called on a sub? I'm going to use a regular compact pilot seat here. Now we have about 5 blocks of depth in the rest of this room, and so we need to kind of play our space very cautiously. Okay, I've just blocked it off. Anyway, yes, so we have to play it very cautiously and try and get as much in as possible. Now everything from behind this pilot seat is going to be free for us to do whatever we want, because we're going to have all the controls come down from, say, the roof or from the sides over here, and the rest is going to be, well, for the other crew people. This sub is maybe a 2-person crew. I wouldn't recommend more than 1 person coming down this chute at a time. So maybe 1 person, like an engineer, could leave the sub while the pilot maneuvers into position. But yeah, so I wouldn't take more than 2 in this sub. So we have to facilitate that and kind of get a single other seat in here. So I think I'm gonna start with some windows. I'm gonna put these here maybe, and so we can have a better view outside. Or we could go with a porthole. I think a porthole would suit this a bit better. There we go, a single porthole on the side should be pretty good. I might add a tiny little window in as well, like right here, just to kind of sell it a bit. And then we're gonna need somewhere for the crewmen to sit and relax on the journey, so it's not going to be much room for a big seat. Or is there? We could chop away at this and get in a regular passenger seat there. But I don't know, I might go for a... Actually, yeah, I think that could work. Yeah, okay. And on the other side, I want to have, say, if we're in the event that we need to rescue someone, maybe they have crashed their submarine on the ocean floor and they need a rescue, which is going to be the coolest thing if we can pull it off. But yeah, I want to have somewhere for them to sit as well. So we'll get some padded seats. But yeah, they're looking pretty good. And here I think I'm going to have some kind of console. I don't know what yet. But the person sitting in this seat can operate that. And yeah, should be pretty good. So I'm going to get some fins here. And I'm just going to try this and see if we put some dive planes on there. Doesn't look too bad. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you're excited for the next iteration of the sub build, where we get it all nice and painted, I guess, for the next episode. But yeah, if you want to see that, then do subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss it. And well, yeah, I'll see you later.